How do intelligent apps and trusted data help companies respond, adapt, and innovate in today's fast-paced information economy? Join me, Eric Cavanaugh, as I interview Ivo Totev, President of Line of Business Marketing at SAP, and learn how SAP's Intelligence Suite enables the intelligent enterprise. Ivo, you gave such a compelling talk this morning at the keynote, speaking about your daughter and the promise that you made to her to take her to school, and then there was an accident, and she was disappointed, and that got my heartstrings tugging a bit because I have a 5-year-old, and I went through the same thing coming out here. But you talked about the importance of really understanding the experience, and because you were there, present with her, you could see the disappointment, and then you could respond to that. Then, of course, made a metaphor to the business world, where you want to be able to make promises and then keep the promises you make. Can you talk about that real quick?
Yes, so SAP is known since its inception back in the 70s for supporting end-to-end processes. Make a promise, keep a promise only works if all departments in the enterprise work together. Right. You cannot have one department make a promise and then engineering doesn't know anything about it and the product doesn't get shipped. That's a really bad experience which you don't want to have. So this is something that we traditionally do, and this is why we have such a great and loyal customer base. Customers understand the value. They understand that just having a whatever HR and finance product in isolation doesn't help you run a great business, right? Coming back to the topic of the emotions, sometimes we feel that business is running great. We look at the operational data, we see the processes flowing through very nicely, we reduce the time it takes for processes, revenue goes up, profit goes up. But then we don't really know exactly how customers feel interacting with our company, which is very important for how they feel, for the brand of the company, for the product experience, and frankly also for employee experience, right? So these are soft factors which businesses need to cater for if you want to provide awesome experiences to all our customers and all our employees.
You've also talked about the Intelligence Suite and how important it is, A, to have end-to-end business processes fluidly connected, right? You don't want to have the old world of batch-oriented thinking, taking a day or 2 days or a week to get some data into place. Everything needs to live in real time these days if you want to really support that experience, right? So if you would talk about the Intelligence Suite, what's entailed there, what's happening, and how does it work?
So first of all, we are making sure that all our products are very well integrated and work seamlessly together. That's absolutely key. When you look at our wild world, right? So many things are happening. Brexit's around the corner. As a company leader, you try to figure out what does Brexit mean for me? Will the supply chain be disturbed? How can I still have happy customer? What does it take if I move my headquarters from UK elsewhere? Or should I stay in UK? These are decisions that you only can make based on data, right? And so we are making sure that all these systems work together in the best possible way to enable business leaders to make decisions based on data, based on predictions, based on analysis. So we don't leave people just there with a bunch of data, right? We put intelligence in there so that leaders get some recommendations. Hey, you should look at this. Have you seen that supply chain could be distorted here? What would you do if Brexit doesn't happen and you've done all the investment? How do you roll that back? You know, these are all very important topics where data is key, but then data needs to be transformed into information, and that's what we're doing.
Right, and you make a really good point here about the importance of data, that whole data layer, right, in the ecosystem, in the environment. And if you don't have trusted data, then you can't trust machine learning to help you out. You can't trust your customer service department. You need that trusted data, that governed data, right? You talked about Brexit. That also requires thinking about privacy and what I like to call the right to be respected, right? So talk a bit about that, talk a bit about the importance of really understanding customer experience and then following through so you can keep that promise.
So we're living in an age where customers are very sensitive what happens to that data. We are moving away from, oh, here's my data, I trust that you do something good with it. There have been so many scandals around, so customers are looking for this trusted entity where they understand the processes behind, where they understand how is the data being managed, how do we make sure that data doesn't get in the wrong hands, how do we use data that legislation allows us to use and we want to use versus using all the data. So this is a key part of a platform, and it's super important for a trustworthy relationship with customers. Now, as I said before, operational data and customer information is one thing, but baking the customer experience into the pool of data is another piece which we're doing now with Qualtrics. So we have great data platforms based on HANA. It can manage all operational and experience data coming from Qualtrics. But now, coming to the point, you have a bunch of data here. What do you do with that, right? And my favorite example is, if you're an airline, you may have a great business. Planes are on time, revenue is going up. You still may have disappointed customers of yours who are among the top 2% of your customer base who constantly fly, simply because you have missed to build into your systems some algorithms to assign them better seats and not put them in the middle seat.
Right.
You may not see that for operational data. You only can figure that out if you have some experience data coming from both customers saying, hey, it's the first flight in a month when I'm put in a middle seat. And this is the secret, putting this experience data together with operational data, helping the teams in the enterprise to understand, hey, these are important customers, right? A lot of people may complain, but now you know these are very key customers who complain. Let's do something about it. Let's take some action and let's improve our systems and processes so that these people are treated in the best possible way. This is where we see the intelligent enterprise going, and this is where the X data and the O data coming together is so important.
Right, and in closing, right, intelligent experience is the key, and I think you made a great point. Having end-to-end process awareness, right, is so critical, and having end-to-end trusted data is so important. And if you have all that, and you have smart people who pay attention and care about what they're doing, then you can really enable the intelligent experience with artificial intelligence, with machine learning, right?
This is exactly the point, right? It's great to have the data, but then you may draw in data and you don't know what to do. Intelligence makes sure that you are being presented important decisions to make. Hey, we have a couple of frequent flyers who are unhappy, right? Whatever other aspect of the business, please look at that. Here's a proposal what to do with that. Right. This is where intelligence comes into play to filter from all the noise or signals that decision makers need to know.
That's fantastic. Signal, not noise, folks. So excited to talk to Ivo Totev, really bringing it all together, the data layer, the intelligent enterprise. Good stuff. Thank you for your time.